Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth, and well, we ended the year with a somewhat influencer apology, and then I feel like we started the year with the same apology, different font. I don't know. Jaclyn and Mikayla have decided to apologize for their apology in quotations because it wasn't necessarily an apology, but they decided to come on and discuss the fact that nobody's watching them and they're not getting views, and it couldn't be for the fact that they're just spending money like crazy. But let's look at their apologies and see what people have to say about it on Reddit and in their comments section. But let's watch the apology first.
I want to talk about something that I feel like maybe is a little controversial, maybe not, but I feel like no one really talks about it on social media. At least I don't see this conversation being had, but I think about this every day, and this is coming from like an old school beauty content creator. I started on YouTube 14 years ago. Like, that is insane. I have been here for every single era, consistently uploading, downloading every
14 years is honestly a long time to be on social media, period, but I feel like at that point you should have a good understanding what's going on. Also, so sorry if you hear my dog in the background just chowing. Delilah, what did you... Oh, you're turning on your bone that I gave you. Well, that's my fault. Okay, let's get back to it.
new platform, like watch the birth of TikTok. You know, like I remember when Instagram became a thing. I was already on YouTube when Instagram became a thing, and I downloaded Instagram, and like it was like this new app, and we were posting the square photos. Like, I've been here for all of it, and
she has been getting paid for all of it. We've all been here for all of it. I'm 31 years old. I have been here for the birth of all of those things too. I feel like that's not a big feat, Jaclyn. Like, we're all here. We've all been a part of it, especially the millennials out here. We all know exactly what's going on and who like has been launching things, and we've been a part of all of it. I feel like that's just like such an odd thing to say.
I feel like we're in such a weird place on social media as content creators where I am like fighting. I feel like I am like trying to run through mud to connect with my followers at this point. I feel like there are so many bots, and I feel like these apps are now controlling who views my videos, and I feel like
the app does control who views your videos. That's kind of the point of the app, and their algorithms, and they're all different, and yada yada yada. I thought she said she's been here for 14 years. I know that, and I don't get paid to do social media, but I know that. Like, that's ridiculous.
punished and penalized for not showing up and creating.
She does understand that you get punished and penalized for not creating because you're not putting yourself in the algorithm, and so the algorithm takes you out of their algorithm because they're like, oh, this person's no longer posting, and like, I don't know what to tell her. Yeah, obviously. Okay.
All the time, in the sense of I took off, like I didn't post a TikTok I think for like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. Like, sorry, shit, life happens. I've been doing this for 14 years. Maybe I'm a little burnt out, God forbid. But then I come back to TikTok and it's like
So she took a vacation. She took a vacation. But most influencers who like take a vacation or take a break, they like pre-schedule stuff to go live so they don't have to worry about it their vacation. That's called a vacation. It's a vacation.
put in like this TikTok jail where my views are complete shit. No one is seeing, like, it's one thing if my engagement is shit, meaning like maybe my views are high, but my comments are low and the likes are low. It's like, okay, so my audience wasn't feeling the vibes of this video. That's fine. But I'm talking like when you have 1 million followers, but your videos are only getting 30,000 views, this is just not the way it used to be. Like, when I started, it was so organic. Like, you subscribed to the people that you liked, you opened up those apps, or you got a notification on your phone saying so-and-so just posted a video, you go, you engage with it, and like, it was that simple.
I may be wrong, but isn't it still the same thing? I follow people that I want to see on a daily basis, and I could schedule for them to notify me when they post something, and then I see their content. TikTok even has a whole section that you can go to that's like, what is it called, like My Friends or whatever, and you can see all of the people that you follow versus seeing like the stuff that they're putting on your FYP. Okay, maybe people just don't want to see your stuff, Jaclyn. I mean, okay.
Now it's like I put videos out there and sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm like, where?
She is talking to herself. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, that's I'm literally talking to myself right now. There is a camera right in front of me, and I have a mic right in front of me. But in essence, 0 people could watch this video, and I'm literally talking to myself. Okay, if that's how you feel, Jaclyn.
Is my audience, and it's just, I feel like my audience is really on Instagram stories. Like, my girls are there for me on Instagram stories. Like, I really know who I'm talking to over there, but I miss the days of knowing who I'm posting my content for.
Jaclyn has like millions of followers. There is no way she can know who she's posting content for right now, other than like reading her comment section and seeing what people want to see from her. But for the most part, she has a lot of how many followers does she have? On TikTok alone, she has 1.2 million followers. There is no way she knows who she's posting content for. Like, you can't keep up with that. You can have a general idea. She started in makeup, and if she continued in makeup, I'm sure she would know exactly, but she has like swapped up her stuff so much that I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't know who I'm posting my stuff for either.
And I'm just like, how do like these new creators grow at this point? Like, do the new creators...
They post consistently. They post the same stuff consistently. They know what people are coming to them for, and then they post it. And people are just tired of influencers spending bukus of money for literally no apparent reason.
out there, do you guys feel like you're connecting with an audience, or do you just feel like you're kind of throwing your videos out into cyberspace and like hoping that it's gonna stick? Like, I don't know. And like my comments, like I'll post a video and within 10 seconds I'll get like 15 comments and they're all slightly the same, and I'm like, okay, so like these are like bot comments, like these aren't really my followers. Like, I don't care about that. I'm at the point in my life and in my career where like I only want to post for my girls, like the ones that I've built this relationship and this trust with. But like TikTok isn't even showing my stuff to those people. So I'm like, I don't know. It's like these apps control who sees our stuff, and like
the app does control who sees your stuff. Like, that is the point of posting on the app. And if you're, like she just said, not consistent and you're not posting the same types of things, people aren't going to see it. The algorithm doesn't know how to like push that out. I don't understand. I feel like that's just the most common sense thing in the entire world. The entire world.
The audience that we worked hard to build isn't even ours. It's owned by these apps, and we just have to like hope and pray that after posting our content, these apps are going to choose to show our content to our audience who chose to follow us in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm just so confused, and I don't see a lot of people having this conversation. This will probably put me in TikTok jail for like the next 6 months. So if you see me, hi, I love you and I miss you, and that's it.
And that was back at the beginning of December. I bet she's still getting comments from this. Hold on, let's just read some. Let's see here. This person said, you have to adjust to the current climate. We're gravitating towards influencers like Shelby Ann, I don't know who that is, because their content feels real and relatable. When over half the country is struggling to afford rent, people aren't interested in watching someone spend thousands on a haul or decorate $1 million home for Thanksgiving. It just doesn't connect anymore. I totally get that. I mean, I work a full-time job. My husband has a full-time job. I do not make any money creating content, and I totally get that. I definitely don't watch anyone who is spending a ton of money. Like, we're trying to save up for our first home, for pregnancy, and it's just kind of crazy to think that they just drop all of that money that literally could be somebody's like several months worth of rent. Like, honestly. Let's see here. Oh, they continued. That's why your views are dropping. The content just isn't relatable, and there are a few people who can connect with that level of wealth, and most of us are looking for creators who actually reflect the reality we're living in. And I totally agree with that. Like, I feel like there's a ton of influencers that have popped off here recently, like a Becca Bloom, that people started watching because it was like a level of wealth she started out with, but also started hating because it's a level of wealth nobody wants to see like thrown in your face on a daily basis. So seeing like a Jaclyn Hill that started from the bottom and was able to make it to the level of wealth she's at, but has obviously lost some trust in her audience along the way because she just stopped doing what gained her that wealth. So true. I love Shelby Ann. She's fun, charismatic, and genuinely gives great tips. I'll have to look her up. Let's see what else people are saying. I'm sick of the bye mentality. Teach me something, educate me. That is what I want. I totally agree. Like, there's no need to continue to buy. The overconsumption in this world is honestly insane. We cannot afford to overconsume like we have in the past couple of years because inflation is insane. Everything costs an arm and a leg, and it is honestly just crazy to think what people are spending their monies on. And honestly, watching someone just drop a ton of money when somebody else could be like, wow, that could buy me groceries for a couple of weeks, it's very painful. Girl, you're missing the point in the comments. Your followers are telling you why. Yeah, and her followers have definitely been telling her why. Why aren't the poor people watching me be rich? Honestly, this is so funny. I love that so much. What did somebody say? I just laughed. Yeah. You're not relatable to us. We're out here struggling. Yeah. And didn't she used to make like content of like how, I know Jaclyn's been through a lot of different stages in her life and her influencer era, but I also feel like she used to make like a lot of content of like going to the drugstore, getting makeup, and showing a full makeup routine, and I feel like that would be relatable. That's a $130 crew neck. Oof, that's definitely not relatable. That sucks. Babe, that sweatshirt is $140. That's my entire weekly grocery budget that we can afford for our entire family. Yeah, that's rough. Studied Jaclyn. She has transitioned beautifully. Her content is engaging, honest, and aspirational. I mean, like, people are being honest, but they're being, I feel like, nice. They're being really nice about it. I feel like Jaclyn is very out of touch, and I know, like, from then, let's see how many, if she's done any hauls since then. Oh, she literally did a haul right before this video.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my most used bronzers first. Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer, can't live without. Hung Van Gogh, we need.
I feel like to post this video right before the one we just watched is kind of crazy. Let's see what she had to say.
Hi, so I posted a TikTok yesterday, and in this TikTok, I was talking about just being a content creator for the last 14 years and how I've watched these apps just change and how I really feel like TikTok specifically, like, punishes you for not posting, and then like if you don't post a video for a week or two, they put you like in TikTok jail, is like what I consider it, and they don't show your content to your audience. And the comment section has taken such a turn, and I'm listening. Like, I've been laying here in bed for the last 30 minutes reading these comments, because when I first posted the video yesterday, the comment section kind of went a different direction. And at first I was like, wait, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about like my content. I'm talking about the app. But now there's like, I think 2,000 comments. And I'm like, okay, my ears are open. I'm listening. I'm reading your comments. You guys are saying that like you're sick of the influencer era. You're sick of the shit.
Yeah, people are sick of the influencer era. I totally get that. You aren't relatable, sweetie. I checked out when you decluttered your Stanley collection. What the heck? Like, that's so pointless. I think she was sponsored by Stanley, but still, that's insane. Makeup tutorials. I want to be educated, not influenced. Yes. Less consumerism. I feel like a lot of people are on this less consumerism bandwagon, and the influencers just aren't catching up, truly. Honestly, from the outside looking in, it doesn't really look like her content has changed all that much. I think she did, this one tutorial, and yeah, she did like some tutorials. Look, good for her. Like, she looks like she kind of listened, but like not really. Let's see what other people have to say about it. Love Reddit. Let's see here. Asks for feedback, gets defensive about feedback. This is one of my pet peeves. Like, I just asked for blind reassurance plus compliments. Then, since you really never wanted the real answer about your lack of engagement. Truly. Honestly, I think, sincere. I feel like influencers are just so out of touch when they hit that certain level of wealth, and they forgot what it was like to not want for anything. I mean, they forgot what it was like to like need things, and they're at a point where they like could want for anything. And I feel like that's where that major disconnect is. I feel like a lot of influencers are going to find a lot of pushback right now, as they should. Now is not the time to be linking bullshit material goods. Do something else. I totally agree. I get that this is how they make money, and that is important. Like, we all have jobs, we all make money, and this just happened to be one of their ways. But make it reasonable. Make it like you're actually using it, and not. I feel like what gets me, I hate that I just said that. I feel like what gets me is all of the ads that are on TikTok versus just like wanting to doom scroll. Like, sometimes I just really want to doom scroll, and it's just like ad after ad after ad. And it is the most annoying thing. I do click on them and say, not interested, not interested, not interested. And I really just, it's just awful. I like extremely affordable items, yeah, and you still get paid every time someone buys them. That affiliate check is exactly what fuels the lifestyle she's pretending not to have. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Now that we saw Jaclyn Hill, I'm not going to call it an apology, because it's not an apology. She's just trying to figure out why her engagement is low, and I feel like people gave her the answer that she wasn't looking for. And honestly, she'll never go back to her OG content. It's just like not something I feel like makes sense for her. So let's move on to Mikayla and listen to her batshit apology. It's not really an apology again. It's, where's everybody gone? But let's see.
See this video? Hello? Is this thing on? Hi. We have a lot to talk about. Essentially, after the new year, I went completely MIA for 2 weeks, and then
Vacation. She went on vacation. Like, as we all do. I take vacations, not all the time, can't afford that, but I do take a 1 to 2 week vacation, and sometimes they're together, sometimes I split them up, but it's a vacation.
I've barely posted at all recently, and I want to talk about what's been going on with me. I'm going to be so completely raw and transparent in this video, and if you don't like me, you're probably not.
Her voice really grates me, and I know it's fake, and I think that's why it grates me so badly, is because she used to not talk like this, and then now she does, and I just don't understand the hype behind Mikayla.
Gonna like what I have to say, because it's always boo Mikayla. No, I'm just a human being, and this is what I'm fucking going through. Basically, at the end of 2025, I had an extremely eye-opening epiphany that I am completely fucking lost and I don't know who I am. By the way,
I don't know if any big influencer knows who they are. I mean, they do if they were truly honest with themselves, but they're not gonna be. So I feel like that's not an epiphany that is wild.
everything I am about to tell you in this video, I do not expect you to care. I'm simply telling this for those who do and because I'm being asked. But mainly because you're going to see a massive shift in me and I need you to understand why. This is just what is my reality right now. Last 6 years, I have been completely immersed in influencer culture.
Yeah, because you are an influencer. Okay.
And fuck, I told myself I was not going to cry and I'm not going to. But in the last 6 years, I feel that I have completely lost myself. God damn it, guys. I feel that I have gone down a path that I never wanted to go down. And I'm disappointed in myself.
I feel like for influencers that really keep a following and keep it together and really understand what their audience is looking for, also has a really good, strong foundation of friends and family around them that keeps them really well grounded. So it's not as crazy as an uplift when they start getting a following, and it's easier, I feel like, for them to gain that fame and the money that comes along with it. But also, I also feel like if they don't have that, then they, in essence, like lose themselves. But also, they're not really losing themselves. I feel like money really amplifies who a person is to a point, because now they have all this money and they can do whatever they want. So I'm just saying, I think she is who she is, and she didn't lose herself. She found out who exactly she is.
I started this career living in my parents' house in a small-ass town. I moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Johnston, Rhode Island, where my career completely blew up and changed my life. I gained over 10 million followers in a year.
And honestly, good for her. That is a feat in itself, and 10 million followers is no joke. She really started from the bottom and she grew the platform that she's on, which is commendable. Like, congratulations. You have done exactly what you wanted to do, and that's really impressive. But I feel like the job in itself isn't hard. Turning on a camera and talking to it isn't that hard. It's finding the audience that likes you and likes what you're doing, which hers was makeup tutorials, which not my forte, so I never really followed her. But I feel like it's when they start saying that this job is hard that
Life changed very, very fast. In the blink of an eye.
I believe that, truly.
Some of my most critical years, my 20s. You can laugh, you can say whatever the fuck you want about what I'm about to say, but I know that this is true. I fucking worked my ass off.
Did she work hard? Yes. Do I know a lot of people who have much harder jobs? Yeah. Like, yes, you worked. You put in the effort. I'm going to say that. I'm going to change my verbiage for there. You put in the effort and you became famous and you became rich. Congratulations, but that's really easy when you have all the time in the world to film in front of a camera and not have to like fit in the editing, fit in everything else.
Over the last 6 years, I put my fucking heart and soul into everything that I have done over the last 6 years, to the point where it consumed me. I was obsessed. It was all I did.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to be a little narcissistic to do something like this, I feel. Like have been trying to do this for a while, more for myself as a creative outlet, but I have a husband and now we have a dog and I have a life and I have like other goals that I want to hit, and I put this on the back burner every single time. So I think people who can like sit in front of a camera and have like a tiny ounce of narcissism because they're like, hey, somebody's going to follow me and somebody's going to listen to me, that'd be me included. But also to a point, I feel like influencers have that to another level.
All I thought about, I wouldn't take days off. I jeopardized relationships because of how much of a workaholic I am.
I like actually can't take her seriously with just like a bunch of dots on her face. Like, no, it does something. I couldn't tell you what.
I'm telling you firsthand right now that as someone who is a larger influencer, everything you see online is fake. Everything.
Yeah. That's why I don't think you work all that hard. Do you put in the effort? Yes, because it takes a lot of effort to be fake. Do you work hard? No.
When you're an influencer, you are not present. You are planning your every move.
Yeah, honestly, thank you for being honest. I will give her that, because that is probably the most honest thing. All of these influencers that you see, especially the ones that are family influencers, they're all fake. They're faking it for the camera, and I feel so bad for those kids because they're faking it in front of their children. Like, who are they with the camera off? And it's so fake. It's all fake. It's all ridiculous. And I feel like that's why people feel more connected to the larger TikTokers, because it doesn't feel as fake, because it's like your phone versus like people carrying around like a DSLR camera. Because I mean, the YouTubers still do that. They still carry on that massive camera and it feels a little less ingenuous, but it's just like so much more production behind it versus like a phone feels less of a production.
What is the next clip? What is the next clip? What is my next video? What am I doing? What is the content? Everything you do is content.
That literally sounds so exhausting. And let me tell you, no, that is exhausting.
I stat out with the best intentions, which obviously I did. But when you start seeing the views and the numbers and you become obsessed. I'm just saying, every influencer understands this. How can I up myself? How can I do better this time? How can I get more views, more engagement? To mention, we know this career is not forever. So we're doing everything we can to hustle.
I feel like a lot of them know that this career isn't forever, but they're also not setting themselves up for success for them to not have to do this career for forever. Like, they spend so much money. Like Mikayla does, she spends a ton of money. And I'm like, you could be putting that away. You could be investing that. You could be doing so much with this money besides buying all of the clothes and bags and these like massive McMansions and thinking, oh my gosh, this is going, like, I have this money, why not spend it now? And that's just like the mentality I have no understanding behind.
To make money. Anyways, some influencers get fucking lost. Me being one of them. Anyways, so I have this epiphany that I don't know who the fuck I am. And I start thinking about my future. And I'm a small town girl, okay? I live in Massachusetts. I was born in Freetown, Massachusetts. Most people don't know what the fuck that is. At this point in my life, I only know who I am as the influencer Mikayla, because it has been all I have done for 6 years. And basically what it took for me to have this random epiphany is I reconnected with one of my closest friends from high school.
I feel like if all you see is yourself as an influencer, you have nothing outside of being an influencer that detaches you from the like life and career that you have, and that seems awful. Yeah.
And they didn't see me as the influencer Mikayla. I hadn't seen them in 10 years. They just saw me as the Mikayla they knew before I was an influencer, and that fucked with me so much. I'm not gonna lie, it flipped my world upside down.
I feel like if something messed with you that hard, then there should be a part of you that feels like maybe I should do some soul searching. Maybe I should get off this app. Maybe I've made enough money. Which, I mean, I feel like for people like this, enough is never enough. And you just kind of have to keep going. But in all intents and purposes, it's just going to continue to ruin her life and just continue taking. I mean, she is about as fake as she can get with the accent, which is not real. And she's had so many things come up that would technically like ruin a person, but I feel like because she's at a level of fame that you just can't, what word am I looking for? I'll think of it. But I feel like she's at a point where you just can't get rid of them because it's just like, let's just see how many followers she has on TikTok alone. Yeah, she has 17.4 million followers on TikTok. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. That's insane, especially because Jaclyn Hill only had like 1.2. Oh my gosh. That's a person that will always have this platform, and there's no going away from that, whether people love her or hate her. Like, she's here to stay.
Flipped my fucking world upside down. Just fucking had his shit to admit. But I see the comments saying I've lost touch and I'm obsessed with consumerism and the finer things in life and just the designer and all the bullshit. I see that. You are right.
I mean, as long as she knows that that's what's happening, because that is what is happening. Like, she is so obsessed with having the fanciest of everything that like there's no like that's a big therapy bill and coming back from that, I feel like, because like her serotonin that she gets, that's what it is, right? I'll think of it. Yeah, I think it's serotonin that she gets, that boost of serotonin that she gets when she swipes that card on that luxury item, I feel like should be studied, because I'm sure it's intense.
You are right. I'm fucking lost. Catching up with that friend, they made me realize that none of that shit fucking matters. And that at the end of the day, all you have is your head that lays on the fucking pillow at night, your family, your friends. If all this shit went away, what would you have?
I would love to know that. Like, when all of this does go away, because it will, what do you have? Who do you have to lean on? Do you have any like true friends? Like, what is there for you to like be there for, like, truly?
I just want to be the small town girl. Everyone's trying to get me to go to live in LA and live in New York, and I don't want to do that.
Honestly, I'll commend her a little bit for that, because I do feel like influencers do one of two things. They move to LA or New York, and they feel like that's where they need to be. And she has stayed put, which is pretty amazing for her to do and continue to grow, because I do feel like she grows to less things because she's in Massachusetts, but it's still staying a little closer to who she is because she's staying there, if that makes sense.
I don't want to do that. What I'm learning is life is so fucking short. And I want to be with my family. I want to be present. I want to get off my fucking phone and live my life. I want to wrap my head around what's actually fucking important. And it ain't any of this influencer shit. I can tell you that. Am I grateful for it? Fuck yeah, I am. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm extremely fucking grateful for it. But at the end of the day, I have totally lost myself to it, and I'm not okay with that. On top of that, because I kept losing myself, the hate towards me is insane. Like, I could handle it for the last few years, like, no problem. But recently, it is a different level. And I'm not gonna lie, it has taken a toll on me. And it is another reason I chose to step back. I'm a strong bitch, okay? I carry a lot on my shoulders. But let me tell you, sometimes that shit gets fucking heavy.
I feel like to do something like this, like everybody's gonna have haters and you just kind of have to embrace it. Like I'm sure if I do this long enough, like I'll have haters. And honestly, like you've got to be the type of person, just let it roll off your back and just not care. Either just don't read it at all or read it and laugh. I feel like there's the only two options.
And two things I can acknowledge. One, you sign up for that shit, okay? You sign up for this, okay? No one's forcing you to do it. So the hate that comes with it, that's just part of the job description. I get told all the time by people in my life, people in the comments, oh, don't let it get to you. Who cares what people online think? Well, what I'm going to tell you is when you're being told to kill yourself and that you're a worthless, ugly, fat...
That is too far. I'm sorry. Like, do not start telling people to kill themselves. Like, that is honestly so mean. And I don't understand how people can get to the point where they feel like they can say that to somebody, because let's be honest, they'll never say that to your face. They're not the type of person. They're a little keyboard warrior, and they're just going to hide behind that and hide behind the fake profiles or the Reddit profiles and things like that. So I do feel for her on this point, and all influencers, because I'm sure they all go through it. But I feel like, again, you know it's going to come regardless, and it's just like, don't read it. Like she's big enough that she has a team that can deal with all of that. She could honestly never read a single comment for the rest of her life, and I think that would probably be the best for her because she doesn't have to. Like, she's that wealthy.
That piece of shit on a daily basis, yeah, it takes a toll on you. And I also don't know why we act like talking to strangers like that on the internet is normal.
It's not normal. The internet has amplified people being able to say things to people because they don't have to say it to them, to their face. And so, like, I feel like people have forgotten what an inside thought is. Like, that's an inside thought. Let's keep that to yourself. There's no point of it coming out at all.
And what? What do you mean? The combination of being lost and getting a tremendous amount of hate. Yeah, I took a step back, and I'm gonna continue to take a step back. I need to figure out what Mikayla wants. What do I want? What do I want for my future? Who do I want to be? Because it's not who I currently am. I need to become grounded again and just fucking live on this rock as a human, as a normal fucking person, not the influencer Mikayla. Put that shit to the side. I don't know. I'm definitely saying too much. But that's the thing. Like, I used to be able to say exactly what I was thinking. And
how old is Mikayla? Because she looks older than me. She's like in her 20s, I think. I'm so interested. Let's look. How old is Mikayla Nogueira? She is 27 years old. Oh my gosh, I am 4 years older. I am 31. I feel like she looks like 35. Okay. That's a whole other topic I'd love to discuss. I feel like women that are in their 20s are looking like they're in their almost 40s. We should definitely discuss it.
Obviously, I had way less eyes on me, so people weren't picking it apart, but...
Why'd you have to say it like that? A pot? Like, I feel like nobody talks like that, truly. It's fake.
Now, everything I do and everything I say is so picked apart. It's insane. Like, I feel like I can't say anything or do anything, and the joy that I used to get from doing this does not exist anymore. Now...
But also, who cares who's paying? Like, I am but like a tiny speck on Mikayla's radar. Like, she'll probably never see this video. It'll probably never cross her mind. But again, if you're going to put yourself on the internet, you're allowing people to pick you apart. And that's just kind of the reality of the internet.
I'm scared to post videos of any kind. And I'm in my head, I'm always thinking about what's going to be picked apart in this one. Like, that's horrible. Long story long, I love what I do so much, and anyone who genuinely follows me knows that. Like, seriously, I fucking love what I do so much, and I always share that. But I got lost along the way, completely lost. I've taken the last month, I've taken a step back to analyze what needs to be done for me to get on a better path. Because transparently, I've let myself down. Everything I didn't want to fucking become, I became. I love creating content, but the way I do it, the content I create needs to change. I want to bring you into my life more again because I'm a lot more than just a designer fucking handbag. Let me reiterate, I know that I dug this fucking hole. I know that I'm gonna get a lot of fucking hate for this video, and I'm not asking for sympathy. Like, I don't need your sympathy at all. Just wanted you to know what is going on with me so you understand. A different journey of just finding myself, figuring shit out, okay? And I'm taking a bit of a step back from social media. Yes, I'm still gonna be posting, but maybe just not as frequently as...
That video was here that we're watching. That was, hold on, when was that posted? 129, so 2 weeks ago. This is more than a video a day, but she's taking a step back. I just wanted to throw that out there. Just as an FYI.
I really need to be present with the people in my life and just work on myself. I just need to work on myself. I just want you to know that that is what I am doing. That is what I am doing offline. My SPAC is gone, and I'm working on getting it back. I'm going to say this one last time. This is not a woe is me video. I don't expect you to feel bad for me. I'm not saying that. This is just me sharing reality. I love you so much. I appreciate the people who have supported me all these years. I'm sorry if I've let you down, and I'm gonna be better. And
That was...
Okay,
Oops. I can't watch this ad. This is so embarrassing. Actually, let's watch it, because she did that woe is me video and then proceeded to do a, Lemmy Gummy ad? Yeah, I can't watch this ad. I literally can't. Because I've seen it, and I just can't put myself through that again. Actually, this is the same day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this was literally the same day, and she posted.
Apparently.
Okay, let's pause that. Okay. These are all really positive. Let's go to Reddit, because Reddit is never positive. This is a diary. Let's read it. It's giving the same vibe as the I know I'm not attractive video she did end of last year when called down for the filters. Yeah, I saw that video. That was wild. I'd have more respect. The bar is pretty low though on how much respect if she came on Cut the Shit with the accent, literally said I've done this and this and this, and actually call herself out with the lies, filters, scarcity marketing tactics, the fact that POV is just a POS. I've never tried this, so I don't know. As a small business owner, bespoke wedding stationery, so nothing alike. I could never imagine saying I was completely lost with something I've worked so hard to become. The success is because I did that, I earned that, and built that from nothing. I mean, I feel like if she just came on and apologized for everything, like Lashgate and her accent and literally just everything. Also for using her now ex-husband, which we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But yeah, using everything and everybody, and just to never say anything other than woe is me. I don't know. It's weird. I love the three violins. I feel like Everything you see online is fake. Well, guess where I saw this video. The writing is on the wall. This is just a primitive Jaclyn Hill video. Yep. Wait, can't wait for the luxury haul in a few hours. If she's so much more than a handbag, why does she do a video showing her blackout shopping? But she still works till 5:19. Honestly, if I can find that video somewhere on the internet, I'll put it here, where she was like, I worked until 5:19 today. Man, I work an actual full-time job, and yeah, I work from 9 to 5, and that is normal. Congrats. Yeah, boohoo, you literally signed up for this, lol. You sold your soul for the Benjamins, and this is what happens. As ever, she follows the Jaclyn Hill playbook. I think it's funny that she's like following the Jaclyn Hill playbook, but she has so many more followers than Jaclyn Hill. I had no idea. Obsessed and consumed by work, a workaholic, or obsessed with social media and your phone. She is beyond addicted to social media, and it is all she has and knows. Without it, she has no sense of self-worth or who she is. She very much needs therapy. I actually totally agree with this statement. I think that is probably one of the truest statements, because I feel like the influencer world has like a level of needing therapy, because I feel like they become so addicted with people giving them that positive affirmation that they have no idea how to give it to themselves, and that makes it so hard on them. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So apparently they put her in People magazine, which I found. Influencer Mikayla Nogueira tears up admitting she's completely fucking lost after eye-opening epiphany. I didn't actually hear one single epiphany in that, other than the fact that she said, oh my gosh, nobody loves me, nobody cares. And like, yeah, I don't care. I want to see what other people actually had to say about this, because there were no comments on the People magazine. It was the only reason I went and found it, and they turned them off. I also feel like People magazine does articles about people that is just so unnecessary. Not her paying people to run an article. Luke Chinnon sounds like a name someone made up while looking at a man. Oh no, ma'am, you don't not get to run amok for years, doing whatever you want, saying whatever you want to say, publishing product after product to the people that trust you and believe in you, lying and being nasty on a constant basis. Now you want to say what so many of us have been saying. You don't even know who you are. Life doesn't work that way, like that, Mikayla. You can't do wrong. Apologize and keep doing it. We see you. I feel like it's not that she's apologizing, because I didn't hear an apology. It was the fact that she like refuses to admit that anything was actually wrong. But yeah, honestly, I feel like 2026 is definitely going to be the era of people unfollowing influencers, or just lack of trust, like not trusting them anymore, because they have nothing of quality to say. They have nothing. I'm not saying that I do, because I don't. I just like to yap. But there's nothing to say that makes sense, and they're just putting so much money into their like pockets that I feel like people are just going to stop listening and stop buying. And I'm not saying like there's no way you can get rid of Mikayla. Like, at 17 million followers, which is insane. There's just, like, no getting rid of someone who has that much, like, so many people backing them. But I do feel like their backing will slowly start to dwindle and people will slowly start to fall off. The Jaclyns, the Mikaylas, there's just so many people, I feel like, in this world that are trying to redirect and pivot their content, and it's a lot harder because all they want to do is spend their money and flaunt their wealth. But now we're at a point where nobody wants to see people spend their money and flaunt their wealth because nobody can afford to do anything like that, and it's no longer cool to watch it. So I do find it interesting that it just slowly is, like, turning gears and people are just turning it off. So I'm interested to see who Mikayla and Jaclyn are by the end of the year, and have they actually taken any of the criticism. I know Mikayla hasn't, because I'm literally about to do another video on her. The criticism from people, and I just, like, don't think they are. Like, they're never going to. They might for a second, and then they're all woe is me and another apology video, and we'll be back here in another month or so and we'll do it all over again. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday for another video. This one's going up on a Monday, so yeah, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll see you on Wednesday for the next video, and we're gonna talk about Mikayla's divorce that she announced. So I hope you're interested, and I can't wait to see you then.